Symmetra has consistently been at the bottom of the barrel in competitive play. As highlighted in my recent 5 Worst Heroes video, in the pro scene, she has one of the lowest pick rates. Why is that? What's wrong with her? Well, a lot to be honest, but mainly there's little reason to pick her over other heroes. She's got no mobility, her kit is weak, and 9 times out of 10 she'll get little to no use from her ultimate. Here in this video, I would like to take a closer look at Symmetra, her problems, and then talk about some potential ways we could fix them. Let's go ahead and start things off with her weapon, the Photon projector. Her orbs, in theory, are very strong, heavy-hitting projectiles that can pass through shields and damage multiple targets. In practice, it moves far too slow to be of any value. Hitting anyone is a happy accident unless you charge up and unleash right next to them. And then her beam attack, while very strong, dealing up to 120 damage per second, has a range of only 5 meters, meaning that most heroes in the game can easily kite and kill you when you try to use it. And any hero that gets close enough for you to hit can typically kill you before you reach full charge. Your best bet is to be jumping around like a madman and hoping they either ignore you or simply can't shoot. Next up, we've got her Sentry turrets, which by themselves deal pretty pitiful damage. Even if you get that coveted turret nest, it likely isn't going to kill anybody. And on top of that, they have only 1 hit point, meaning that a light breeze is enough to destroy them. In fact, most of the time, they're killed by accidental enemy fire. Then they've got a 10-second charge time so that when they are destroyed, you have to wait a while before you can get all 6 back up. And then we have her shields, one of the main reasons why she's in the support category. While they're admittedly nice, it's far from enough to warrant her being classified as a support hero. And then finally, we have the best reason to take her, which is her teleporter, which, for a variety of reasons, is hot garbage. Don't get me wrong, mechanically the teleporter is amazing, letting any recently eliminated teammates get right back into the fight, which is especially strong when defending a point far from spawn. But everything about the teleporter itself is terrible. First, there's the fact that any team with half a brain is gonna find it in under 20 seconds. When you deploy it, the entire enemy team is told so. The maps are all small and linear enough that every hiding spot is well known. And if that wasn't enough, the teleporter emits a loud humming sound, alerting the enemy Genji or Tracer whenever they get close. And then when they inevitably find it, it only has 300 hit points, meaning it just takes a few seconds to destroy. So that's a list of some of what's wrong with Symmetra and the parts of her kit that may be holding her back. And for many of these reasons, it is oftentimes better to bring any other hero. If you want to keep your team in the fight and support them, pick an actual support class like Ana, Lucio, or Mercy. In fact, hell, Mercy herself, her ultimate basically works as a teleporter. It gets your dead teammates right back into the fight. And if you want a damage dealer, there are plenty of better choices. But I don't think she's too far off from being viable, so let's talk about some of the potential improvements. Firstly, there's the obvious of adjusting some of the numbers and tweaking some of her current mechanics. You could do things like make her projectile orbs travel faster, give her photon shields more shields, say 50 instead of 25, make her turrets deal more damage or have more health so they're not destroyed as easily, or make them recharge faster so that when they are destroyed, she can place them all down quickly again. And then finally, you could just make it more difficult for the damn opposing team to find her teleporter by reducing the noise that it makes, because everything else is working against the teleporter. It's already easy to find because there's only so many spots to hide it, so don't make it so blatantly obvious when someone gets close to it. And then on top of these adjustments, there's the idea of making some alterations and changes to her kit, and I've seen some people come up with some really cool things. One of my favorite is the idea of letting her continue to build ultimate when the teleporter is deployed. And if she reaches 100% ultimate a second time while it's still up, add another charge to it, letting another teammate go through. You could also make her more of a healer. Let's say we don't give her heals, but instead let her deploy a device that spawns a large health pack every X amount of seconds. Or just make her actually more of a healer by letting her weapon heal allies, or her turrets actually, on top of damaging enemies, could heal nearby allies. There's all sorts of things we could do to adjust her, and we'd want to be careful about making too big or too sweeping of changes, and I am by no means suggesting that we should make all of the potential changes that we've discussed here. But something needs to be different, because as it stands right now, you're better off just bringing an actual healer if you want to support, and you're better off just bringing an actual damage dealer if you want to deal damage. Teleporters replaced by Mercy Res or even Sound Barrier and Transcendence for just keeping your team alive. And don't even let them die nearby so that they don't have to run back to the point in the first place. She's got a cool kit and she's always been an interesting hero to me, and I'm not sitting here and say that she can't work, because the footage you've seen in the background make it blatantly obvious that you can do work as Symmetra, but against an organized team in competitive play, she's just basically worthless. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. Alright everybody, that is going to do it for me here today as we talk about why Symmetra sucks and what some of the things we could potentially do to make her better would be. A lot of neat ideas in here, even just beyond the slight tweaks and changes. Mixing up her kit a bit could be interesting and possibly bring her back into competitive play. Alright my friends, that is going to do it for me here today. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Please be sure to let me know your thoughts on the video itself, on what we talked about in the comment section below. Hope you all have a fantastic afternoon, and until next time, I'll see you later.